Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We're back for part 3 of painting the DungeonSwag's December swag box. This beautiful giant. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on some fingernails and toes and stuff. And to do that, we're going to get a soft, nice size 1 brush. We're going to get an off-white color. And we're going to make sure our brush is damp. And we're going to wipe a lot of that out. But we don't want to dry the brush out. Then we're just going to touch those a little bit. You don't need to paint the entire surface. You just need to catch it some. And if you do little like streaks and then drag them down when the brush is almost empty, you'll get a good kind of look. Now these might look a little vibrant right now, but when we put the wash on, that'll clean that up, okay? Also, he has 2 teeth. You can just grab those lightly. Just snag the outside edge of them a little bit, like that. That'd be good. Now, his eyes are real deep. Can't get it with that brush. Get a fractional brush. So you want to get in there and lighten that up in there a little bit. Something like that. Can you see that? And I'm not going to do pupils and irises because that's like hooded and shaded and you won't notice it. Okay? Going back to my size 1 brush, I'm putting my off-white away. Well, you know what? Let's use that off-white a little bit more real quick. Let's get that off-white. Get a lot of it off the brush. And let's hit some of the spots on these ropes just a tiny bit. Don't focus too much on it. Just grab some spots. I don't have anything left on the brush there. Okay. And I'm going to hit a little bit on the thicker part of the rope on his neck where I know I won't screw it up. And a little bit back here on this like double rope part. Put that away. I'm going to get a metallic. And I'm going to wipe a lot of that out. Just like, can you see my cardboard here? Just wiping out a lot of that. And then I'm going to touch this around on these rings. Careful not to get it on the ropes or anywhere else. And then I'm going to hit on these railroad ties. I need a little bit more metal. Something like that. Now on this tree up here, I need to create some variation on that. And on the logs. So to do that, I'm getting elephant gray, which is a medium to light gray. And I'm getting a very, very soft brush, plastic bristled brush. That one's damp because I just washed it. Let me get a different one. Something small like that. I want to take almost everything out of that brush. And I don't want to dry brush it per se. I just want to hit some spots to create some tonal change to make it look kind of old and rotted and gross. Because these guys are not using maintained equipment. attention there. And don't fret if you get a little bit on the rope. That'll just create a little variation on the rope, and that's okay. I'm going to come back and hit the edge of this log here, and all these gnarly parts up here with that pretty good. Let me get a little bit of that gray. I'm going to come around to some of the patches on his clothing and stuff and drag a little bit of that there to mute some of the color differences I made that weren't as noticeable as I want them to be. And lighten them up a tiny bit. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with what I got going on here. I do want to make a couple small changes before I wash them though. So let's start, oh, pardon me, with our good brush. Like a real horsehair brush or a hair brush. I don't know what kind of hair it is. Some kind of hair. And with the peach that we did, I'm going to get my peach. I'm going to get a tiny bit on the end of that brush. Enough that I can leave a line. Then I'm going to come up and do some things. I'm going to clean up around the back of his ear. Make that a little more pronounced. And I'm going to hit the top of his nose. Lighten that up. Just a little drag across his lip and chin. And then on some of these muscles at the top, as I'm running out of that paint in my brush, I'm going to have so little of this in my brush while I'm doing this, mind you. I'm just going to drag it around. Create some unnecessary highlights across his shoulders there. Maybe on his hand a little bit. Okay. Those were very unnecessary, and you didn't have to do that part. It's just something I wanted to do for me. I think it's going to look okay in the end. That would have looked good with gray too, actually, probably. All right. Now, I did not do his toenails when I did his fingernails. That was a mistake. So I'm going to get that same antique white I did. Get a tiny dab on there, wipe a lot of that off, so it's just kind of a, I'm going to hit these toenails up. Just to make them noticeable. I'm not trying to make it a main focus of my paint job here. Need a little bit more. Okay. Now I wanted this to look like wicker or some kind of canvas, but I'm not sure how to pull that off. So let's get a small brush in a beige color. Let me see, I got this one's kind of big, but let's try it. And I've intentionally not used this exact beige anywhere on this model, so that it wouldn't look like all the other colors. I'm not sure if that paid off or it doesn't matter. It looks like it doesn't matter because everything's so muted and similar that it's not going to create the look I want it to. But I will tell you the glass bottle part of that, I'm going to do in a green. Why green? Well, because there's no other colors on this model as of yet besides the green I'm going to do there and another green I'm going to do. So I'm looking for a dark green. I have an arbor green here. It's pretty dark. I get some water on my brush and grab some of that green. A little bit more green. Okay. Now, I'm putting that brush away. Or, sorry, that paint away. And I'm getting this green here. This is English Ivy green. I'm going to get some water. And some of that green. So I get something very soupy. And then I'm going to kind of get in here where these stones are. And push it down in between some of the stones and let it soak up onto the stones a little bit. I almost hate to put a wash on this guy. But I feel like you really need a wash to pull him all together at this point. I'm going to hit that tree area pretty good with that moss. Or that green, I should say. I'm like trying to make it simulated moss. Get in the cracks here a little bit. Get some of it on the gray. Alright. I'm pretty happy if you guys are. I'm going to get a little bit on these logs. Why not? Okay. I don't know how much that'll show through on the final product. Maybe none at all. We will see. Now remember what I said. I'm going to do the base last. Can't find what I'm looking for. Alright, here we go. The last thing I'm going to do is there's a lot of like yarn, not yarn, like tong, like wrapped through stuff, threading stuff. And then there's some little spikes on them that are metallic that I missed. So what I want to do is I want to come through on these little like yarns. Just kind of drag something light on those to make those stand out a little bit. If there's any other spots I see I want to lighten up along the way, I'll just hit those too. And he's got those all along the back of his other little gauntlet here. I got way too much paint there. Now I'm not painting these perfectly. A lot of these cracks are going to be filled in with the wash, and that's going to create some of the variation and some of the shading that goes with that. Okay. So I'm mostly just trying to hit the flat exposed surface of those, and that's all I'm really worried about. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to hit a couple spots with just light for no reason light. And then there's a ton of those on his clothing, and I'm not going to hit all those. I'm just going to hit a couple of them, so it doesn't look like it was all stitched with the exact same material. Okay. Let's get that metallic. Let's paint these spikes. Little buttons. Are there any spikes on the front that I'm missing here? No, I don't see any. They're just on that back part. I'd like to hit that one a little better. All right. I'm pretty happy. I hope everybody else is happy. I'm going to get a little bit more of that metallic, and I'm just going to hit a little bit more on these to make sure that it shows through when I'm done with the wash. All right, so I have homemade washes, but I don't have a mid-tone homemade wash for like a bunch of browns like this. So what I was thinking is I'm going to get a cup. Well, first we got to air gun this dude, because you do not want any wet paint left before you do a wash. So let me get some brushes put away. And let's hit him with the gun. Got to use magic or it wouldn't be a Doom video, right? Like I said, I really hate to put a wash on this guy. I feel like he doesn't need it. But I feel like I'm committed at this point too, so I'm kind of torn. And it's my miniature, so I gotta find my little cups. I don't know where I put my little cups, and when I find those little damn cups, I lost. Oh, here we go. So these ones are like a plastic shot glass from the Dollar Tree. And for what I'm about to do now, this is a pretty good thing. So flesh wash on his entire body would be good. Like this Army Painter Quick Wash Flesh Wash. But I don't know if that's what I exactly want to do. So, plot twist, I'm going to use strong tone. But I'm not going to use strong tone by itself. So strong tone is like a dark brown. I'm going to put some speed paint medium in there. And break that up. Now, I've never done that before, so it just might not work. Okay, I need a little more speed paint medium in there to get the look I want. Oops, that's probably too much now. All right. Let's get that mixed up good. And let's see what we can do with it here. Hopefully I made it thin enough. That really adds to the model. And covers up some of the error we've made, and adds some good variation we might have missed. We want to go thick, we don't want to go thin. Let it do its job and soak into the cracks and everything. If you leave too much in the area, you have a few seconds to come back and try to drag it out of there. Otherwise, you're just going to have to kind of let it dry, because it'll reactivate some of that acrylic, and you'll have to play with it and come back and try to do some fixes after this step. And fixes after this step are big fixes. They're not easy fixes, okay? It's crucial, even though you don't have to get every spot, that you get it up in those inside dark areas, because they will stick out like a sore thumb after you've darkened up your whole model like this, okay? So make sure you get in all those crevices. Yeah, I usually don't do a bunch of stuff like this, but especially not on big models. Holy crap, it's a mistake. I watered my stuff down quite a bit too. I say watered down, I mean thinned it out with the and you'll see like where I didn't do like dry brushing and stuff on the logs, and I just did like variation. This will clean that up. This will fix that. This will make that be okay. Okay, I think I got everything pretty much covered there. Let's go back and take another look and make sure everything's covered good. This foot's a little weak. Get it cleaned up. A little bit too much there. We just gotta kind of leave that at this point. I'll wipe off some of it, but we're at that point where we're in. This is it now. You know what I mean? You can't really go back and do too much pickup work. Now, if you just use the strong tone and none of the medium, you can go back a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I have too much in there. See if I can just kind of pull a little bit out. The speed paint medium seems to really reactivate that paint though. All right, so let's take a look at it. And you can, when it dries, obviously, you know, it'll look way cooler. And then I'll do the base. But that's essentially what we've spent 3 videos working on, is that. And I think it's going to be beautiful when it's done. Sometimes after this is completely done, it does not hurt to come back and pick up some more flesh with a dry brush. But you got to be careful, because this stuff dries very smooth and it doesn't take paint grade afterwards, unfortunately. If you just use a strong tone, you can pull it off. But mixing the medium in, it's just real smooth for some reason. Well, probably because of whatever the medium's made out of. I could probably look and see what that is and figure out if there's a way to react that without destroying the process chemically, but I don't think it's really worth the effort. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell icon and all that stuff. And then I'm not going to record my short of him and take photos of him to post this video until he's dry and I finish the base. So I'm going to put out the one tonight for part 2, and then I'll probably like launch the other one either later tonight or tomorrow. So, but thanks for watching. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you spending your evenings with me or your days with me or wherever you're watching me at. I know there's a lot of great content out there, and I do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment and all that happy crappy. Go to the website and buy miniatures. Yes, these ones. And join the Discord, share with us what you're working on, and check out what we're working on. Let's start a nice community there. Hey, see you next time.